Hello, residents of the internet, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic Grilling Thunder. This is our second episode, and we have a lot of stuff to do today. But I think the first thing that I would like to get done is to have some storage, because inventory space is currently at quite the premium. It seems that our storage was actually nerfed. I feel like the small chests used to have 2 rows of storage, and now I see only 1. But we're probably just gonna have to live with that. The other things that we have going currently are we need to grow 20 tomatoes, build a better car so we don't have to look at this quest anymore. And I don't think it was on camera, but I did drive past a platform where a guy wanted me to build a walk pen. So, ew. Who wants me to get 2 gas engines just to build a car? That's incredibly grimy. Incredibly filthy. That it would ever assume I could build something so energy inefficient. I guess currently I just need to farm up some materials though. And then we can head over to where that car needs to be built. I have come across something interesting. There's a caged farmer here. Yeah, that's a caged farmer. What are you doing here in this building? These guys used to only spawn at farmer camps, but I guess they're more common now? I don't know. I'm gonna take a mental note of that for later to come back and get them. Yeah, I just grabbed an item called a schematic box. Used at a schematic bot station to unlock a random new part. Okay, so we have to unlock parts now, not just clothes. There is another purple crate. Are these guaranteed to have a garment box? It appears not. However, it does have some flower tea. That is greatly appreciated. I need some oil to craft suspension, and I'm wondering if they changed anything about gathering oil from underwater. Appears not. Oh lord, what is that? I think that was the new aquatic tote pot. I did not get a very good look at it. Oh, there's another one. They don't seem that bad. Oh, I think it sees me. They do a wee bit of damage. I'm starting to realize that, while removing the hunger and thirst mechanics did make things, a little less annoying because you don't have to just stop and eat. The real kicker here was removing natural regen. That was the devastating part. Because not being able to regenerate naturally means that you actually have to have food. It's no longer a, convenience to bring with you. I'm looking through the menu here at the mechanic station, and I don't see any new robots pertaining to this schematics box item. I'm a little curious what this is about. I feel like I'm missing something. There's probably some other way to get whatever bot you need. I have just realized that in here I need a part called off-road suspension with bearing. First of all, they added suspension that has bearings on it. Absolutely monumental. Second of all, I don't see that in here, so I don't know that there's any point in me attempting to gather that stuff. Well, there is one thing we can test though. Something that's bothered me. I'm sure if you've played Scrap Mechanic, you completely understand. is that the windshields, you can't go inside of them. Like, you can't stand in them because they're all a big solid part. But they said that they have the ability to make concave parts now. I want to test and see. You know, you can make concave parts, and then you make a big spool, and you don't fix the actual thing. I shouldn't have expected any better from MacLeod, really. I shouldn't have. We can also make a better engine, and I'm probably going to rebuild our car. Currently, I'm just driving around looking for any farmer shacks. I don't see any farmer shacks, but I have found something new. What might this be? A craft bot? No, a schematic bot. Oh. A traffic cone. A scanned traffic cone. Staircase baluster. Okay, so this is how we unlock the new parts I was talking about. Oh, utter decoration. That's actually the most important part. Hey, here it is. That's what I was looking for. So we have another schematic thingy here. I don't believe we have any parts that we can put in there, though. I'm guessing these places are probably unchanged, right? Can't imagine there's too much you could do to the farmer towns. Get lights at least, though. It's kind of nice. And of course, a whole ton of building blocks. There is an outhouse. I just didn't see it. Oh, we have a toilet. Best object in the entire game by far, hands down. No one can say otherwise because they know it's true. The toilet is simply superior. I think we got everything else from this place, including a ton of scrap wood. I would like to get all of these chain link blocks, sorry, net blocks that are made of metal, because that's what nets are made out of. They say the perfect farm defense doesn't exist. I beg to differ. Unless the robots have gotten smarter and can just, like, jump. This should hold them off. Okay, this seems adequate for holding the robots off. Can I... Is there any way I can just use this water? I don't think so. You know what? The rain's doing a pretty good job of watering these. I think it'll be okay just to plant our tomatoes. What is that? Normally I wait to plant tomatoes until midnight because obviously that's when the raid comes. I guess that's the new word for a raid. That's a license breach. 40, 30... Happening now? Oh, I guess it's happening now. I didn't expect that. No way they know how to jump. Oh, there they are. Oh, there's more of them. I hope they didn't just decimate my car. Okay, that one learned how to jump slightly. That could have been bad. For now, I'd say this is functional. Chain link blocks, absolutely superior. I mean, first raid, that wasn't too bad. That was not too bad. So, normally in the packing station, you need a vacuum pump. Yes, this. I don't think it necessarily gave a tutorial for how to make and use a vacuum pump. However, if it's the same as before, I'm already aware. You just get this, and then you're going to need a switch, a single metal block. Don't tell anyone it was supposed to be like that. Actually, no, we want a button for the vacuum pump. A switch is for collecting water. And we'll just attach that to one of these things and pull up next to the packing station. And voila. That there. That there. Perfect. You know, I'm starting to see the argument against weather. Does not feel nice on my eyes. I just realized, if we're growing crops and heading to the packing station already, we are most definitely going to need a way to, you know, transport the crates. Because this thing is not doing that. This thing is not moving crates from place to place. So I think I am going to make a trailer for it. It seems more efficient than just building an entirely new vehicle. I've just stumbled into the hideout here. I can't remember why I didn't come in here sooner. Shop is not open. Suppose I probably have to do this 20 tomatoes quest first. I'm really curious to see what's actually sold there now, because it looked like the spud guns were craftable in the craft bot. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing there. Yoink. Yeah, I got 40 cotton, which should be more than enough. But I've also noticed that when we pick the cotton, we're getting cotton seeds along with it. You know, now we gotta farm cotton too. I'm starting to see why they bought the clankers to do this for them. Would you look at that? Our tomatoes are grown. Of course inventory's full. Of course. Why can't it ever be, oh, inventory's empty and there's a bunch of resources to collect? Inventory is always full. So after harvesting that, we got 23. Yeah, that checks out. I thought I had 25 plots, but I guess I forgot to place 2 of them. Anyway, we can take those to the packing station, but first, come over here. Oh, wait, hold on. I gathered way more pigment flowers than I actually needed. I could have sworn that this recipe was 1-to-1 and absolutely hating it, but maybe they changed it. Okay, a respawn bed. Need some blocks. Here we go, respawn bed, and then I need a little bit more metal. Don't have any scrap metal. Pretend it was supposed to be like that. Real challenge is going to be fitting this respawn bed onto our vehicle somewhere. Could probably go on the trailer quite easily, but I don't exactly want it to go there. We clip it into this robot's head. Of course we can. And finally, we can remove the last of these worthless scrap items. Not going to be stupid. I'm going to detach the engine. Brother. Come on. Put our seat down. Connect it up to the engine. There we go. Absolutely perfect. What are you doing today? Oh, nothing. Just submerging my car in a pond and using a vacuum pump to suck up all the water because I need to forge some industrial grade steel. Oh. I was gonna go on a picnic. And here we are. A weld tool. One other thing that I believe I needed metal block 2 for, actually multiple things. Both the cook bot and the dress bot require, metal block 2. I don't really think that's too much of a priority right now. We can just save our garment boxes. Weld tool, yes, thank you tutorial, I know how to use it. Out of all the tools in Scrap Mechanic, weld tool might be my favorite. Because it really gives that energy of slapping something together. You know, using tape and whatnot, just make it work. If I can. Yeah, I am holding the weld tool, am I not? Hold on. Weld your creation together. Select the weld tool and left click on a loose creation, then left click on a surface of another creation to weld them together. You can also join touching parts on the lift. Hold the left mouse button on the first part and drag the part you wish to weld together. Why? Did they nerf the weld tool? Does it only work with metal now? I am left clicking. What did they do to my boy? I can select this one. Okay. Can't select that block, so I can't do it in my car. Maybe there's something on my car that prevents me from... You know, I'm not gonna ask too many questions. There... Yeah, good enough. Okay, weld tool hasn't been lobotomized, just... Mostly lobotomized. Okay, now we can head over to the packing station and get these tomatoes into boxes. You know, it might have been easier if I put the, it might be easier if I put this on the other side. Hold on. If I put that there, reconnect the switch to it, and take this stuff out of there, put the tomatoes in, find any room in the other box that I might have, no room, and then drop something I don't need. Like that. Now I should be able to line up my vehicle. Go forward, tomatoes are the very last one. It actually has 20 little lines now, because the old packing station, right, it had like 7 bars on it, and you had to put 10 things in. It made absolutely no sense. You know, this new packing station is far superior. Much more incredible. It actually shows how much stuff you've deposited. I presume that after this, it works pretty much the same way that it did before, of taking this up to the giant vacuum. You have anything to say? Nope, just watching. Still have no idea how this vacuum is supposed. This is the tiniest nitpick ever, but they rotated the button. You used to stand here and click the button, but now you stand here and click the button. That's the most random thing ever. Okay, deposit the crate at the trader. Oh. You are a different guy. I thought it was just gonna be him that like walked over here. No, you are a different guy. Ah, I see. I've deposited the tomatoes. Scrap spud gun. Anyway, I am going to go see what that is all about because... Come on, pick up.
I gotta tell you, Werq, those tomatoes were a breath of fresh air.
Who brought them over to you?
Red and juicy and big as a Werq's head. Should last us a while. By the way, the scrap gun you just received, I gotta warn you. The crosshair's bent, and the launcher can barely send them spuds flying. But hey, it's that or nothing. Now, I hate to ask you for another thing after everything you've done for everybody, but it's sort of a personal request, you understand?
Uh-huh.
Not the kind of thing I could tell you over the phone. If you could hop on by, I can fill you in. No pressure. You coming yet? No pressure, of course. See you soon.
Guys, you gotta add a second voice line just in case the person gets here. Axolot, this is just a personal recommendation. Because I'm about 4 seconds away from the NPC you want me to talk to.
There you are. So there's this
There
funny
I am.
thing I gotta tell you. See, I used to have this little personal retreat I'd use for side stuff.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And by side stuff, I mean growing non-Werq regulated produce for selling.
Oh, right.
I know, that's a user policy violation, but it ain't like I was hurting anybody.
Literally just
I had to
Monsanto.
scramble out of there when the bots went cuckoo. Haven't been able to get to it since. It should have gone on lockdown, but some bots might have gotten trapped inside. If you could clear it out, though, we would have some extra space for crops. We could keep out of your hair that way. No more packing tomatoes or nothing. And who knows? Maybe you'll find some new things to grow, too.
Interesting.
What's that? You'll do it? Thunderation!
I
knew
said
count on
nothing.
ya. Now here's the key. I only got the one, so don't lose it. Be careful out there, you hear?
Is this an item I have to put in my inventory? Yes,
You
it is.
Stay safe out there, you hear?
Oh, okay, it doesn't go in my inventory. It goes in my logbook, of course. Farmers use these facilities to grow and experiment on non-Werq regulated seeds, but they have now become infested with bots. The grow lab is a hostile place, going there well equipped is recommended. This grow lab might contain carrot seed. Wow. Wow, I wonder what to expect. It might contain carrot seeds. Anyway, I'm gonna head back home and see what this scrap spud gun is all about. If this really is as terrible as they say it is, then probably not gonna be using it that much. I'd rather save potatoes for when I have something better. But you know, if it's actually somewhat usable, then probably gonna be quite the nice item to have. Okay. Scrap spud gun. Oh, that's atrocious looking. Is that a tuna can stuck to the top with gum? I understand why it didn't take into account any of the other crafting materials now. Yeah, that's horrid. That is a horrid thing. Yeah, I suppose I can check. Do I have buds? Oh, they're in my inventory. Oh, the crosshair. Oh no. Oh. Where did that one go? At this accuracy, that's a melee weapon. That is straight up a melee weapon right there. I was expecting terrible. This is somehow below those expectations. Here, a hammer. They nerfed Totebots a little bit. It seems to take 2 hits to kill Totbot. Okay, so it seems to do the same amount of damages. I guess we can make sure of that if we find a lone Haybot wandering around. Haybots you normally have to hit, what is it, 4 or 5 times? Okay, I shot 5 there. I think only 4 hit and it died. So yeah, I mean, it seems to do about the same damage as the hammer. It's technically a weapon. I think before I end this episode, I'm probably going to grow one more round of tomatoes, because there's more stuff to unlock. Okay, this is just such utter garbage, it's not even worth it. Yeah, that spud gun's not really worth using. I really wish it was. But I don't think it's usable. One more thing I'm gonna do, just because I can, is make a dress bot. It's gonna land directly on my face. It's gonna be funny watch. Let's go gambling! Huh. I'll be honest, probably never gonna wear that. Let's go gambling! I can't stop winning! Hold on. Empty hand here. Wardrobe, let's see what these look like. I've been wearing these painter gloves. I mean, they're alright. I think I like the painter gloves better. That's about all I got for today's episode. If you come back tomorrow, or maybe day after tomorrow, depends how busy I am, I'll have another episode where hopefully we'll get to go see what's inside the Grow Lab. And probably start farming some carrots as well.